So I graduated an undergrad degree with a business management degree.
Okay.
A lot of that time during undergrad, I'm playing Division II college football.
Yep.
Not going out on internships, not, getting in front of, some different businesses and that kind of thing. So I'm walking across the stage, and the very next month, I'm driving Lyft and Uber. And that was a shell shock for me. I'm kind of that generation of like, all the kids, telling all your kids to go to school, go to, go get a
and
college degree.
Right after that.
And you just think, okay, cool. After that, I'm going to go get I came out with a business management degree. I'm like, all right, cool. Like one of the top guys in my class, I'm like, cool, great. I'm going to go out and get a, at least a $60,000, $70,000, a year job and be perfectly fine. That's not the case. So that was a really, really big shell shock to me, I would say, is like, oh, wow, that hurt. Mm-hmm. That is a little bit of punch in the gut.
Yep.
But nonetheless, went on to go work in retail. Worked at Target as a manager in all their different manager roles. Got their team leader manager role. Did that for a couple years, but all throughout. But going back a little bit, I fell in love with real estate back in undergrad. And during undergrad, somebody kind of told me about the concept of real estate and real estate investing, so on and so forth. And then, saying you read the books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And once you read that book, you just really can't go back, further.
Switch flips, yep.
So all throughout my time at Target, I am like finding any other thing that I think that I would like to do, honestly. Like, because I just knew that I'm like, I'm good at it, but this is not what I want to do. I really want to do real estate. So I'm like, I'm finding all the roles. I'm like looking at financial advisor roles, financial advisor, CPA, something else I was looking at. My wife was like, yo, you got to stop all of this, like trying to find every other thing. But I was literally miserable. Like, there would be like times in which I'm literally sitting in Target's parking lot, like about to cry. Cause I'm like, I don't want to walk in here. I'm going into, and I started working at Target like right around the time of COVID-19. So I'm like in the midst of that space. Even after we come out of there, I'm still just like, this is not what I want to do. So fast forward, my wife starts going back to school and getting her master's degree in acting. And there was a pivotal point in which like I never really thought about it like that, but we lived basically 50 miles away from where she was going to school originally. And so she kind of came home one day. It was like, hey, I don't know if I could do this. I think that I would like for us to consider. I mean, because we owned our home there, you know what I'm saying, where we're in Southern California. And she's like, I think that I would like to think about moving closer to campus or on campus. And I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. And something dawned in me. I was just like, oh, shoot, like we could rent out our home here. And then I'm like, oh, now all this time I've been underwriting deals, trying to get family funds, trying to, get some stuff together for different, real estate investment properties. I'm like, boom, this is my opportunity to get into the game of like, now we can rent out our home. We could become landlords at 25 and do some cool stuff. Fast forward, I don't know how it kind of dawned on me, but I was like, I think I want to go back to school. Like my wife kind of inspired me. Like she did it. Yeah. I was like, I think I want to do it. And thankfully found a 1 year fully devoted to real estate program 20 minutes away from where my wife was going to get her master's degree. Okay. And it just was like the perfect blend. I mean, that honestly was kind of the similar theme of the way that we both found each other down in Southern California. Mm-hmm. We were together from freshman year of high school, but she started going to school down in Southern California first, right out of high school. I stayed up in the Bay Area and played ball. Yep. I found an opportunity basically to play 20 minutes away from where she was going to school in Southern California. That's how we ended up getting married. Got it. Fast forward, a few years later, she starts going to get her master's degree in Orange County. And I'm like, I'm a master's degree kind of guy too. I want to go back to, but more than I'm a master's degree kind of guy too. I was looking for something that was going to light that fire in me and spark what I really wanted to do. Found this program. I was flirting between, MBA or, what I have as an MSRE, Master of Science in Real Estate. And I found this program at a small private college called Chapman University down in Orange County. And it just clicked. I mean, honestly, it's one of the biggest kind of catapults to who I am today. Yep. Fast forward during that time, and our program is heavily focused on the commercial real estate space. And so we were all taught by commercial real estate professionals and business owners and brokers and all that stuff. That's what our whole program was built on, is real estate practitioners, in
not
the
just
space.
Professors.
Not just professors. We had a competition that we got to compete against UC Irvine, where my wife actually went to school. My wife went to University of California, Irvine. I went to Chapman. Okay. We had a real estate competition, sponsored by NIOP, and we competed against them and wiped them out of the water, off of the basis of, like, we're getting taught every day by people who are really truly in the field, have a lot of resources. If you can think, USC versus UCLA a little bit, to a degree, or even out here a little bit of like
Georgia, Alabama.
Something along that line. But for us, and so that's kind of what inspired me. And during school, I was able to quit my job at Target, then went on to go work for a company that had nearly $3 billion of assets under management in the multifamily apartment building space while I was working in school. And then from there, once I got out of school, kind of towards the end of my schooling, I then landed kind of my big boy role at a company that I was then our sole asset manager for a company that had about 150 million of multifamily apartment buildings across LA and Washington, D.C. And so that was a space where I kind of cut my teeth a lot, propelled me a lot to, be in the industry. But all of the time while I was in school, kind of going back to your earlier point of like, hey, social media and that kind of thing, I'm a LinkedIn guy off of the basis of undergrad got forced to make not forced, but it was in a class that we had to make a LinkedIn presence, and then walk out of that class with 500 connections. Did that.
Oh, interesting.
You mentioned, hey, why'd you go back to grad school, or what was the impetus there? During grad school, I was kind of like highlighting my journey of being a grad school student, in Orange County, down in Southern California, and that's kind of what propelled me to be in a lot of different rooms and that kind of thing. Because people were catching on to, oh, you're the kid, who goes to Chapman. You're down there in Orange County doing your thing, and so that's kind of what propelled me there, furthered it along, all while I was doing my stuff at the investment firm. And that's kind of really how I started to get a really good flow, became leader of a, young professionals group down there, and ULI, and, African American Real Estate Professionals of Los Angeles. So, like, all of this stuff kind of, sparked from that, like, LinkedIn commercial real estate space and world. And then once I kind of came out here, sat down for a little bit until I figured out what I really wanted to do. And once I got going, I then just started hitting LinkedIn, very, very hard.